a pleasure to see you and hear you.
All right. Hey,
Okay.
Chris Steely. Yeah, man, it's always a pleasure being with you and having these discussions as well.
I love these enlightening conversations we have on multiple platforms. And right now we're streaming live on Facebook. So we'll see how
Yeah,
this goes.
this is
And
our second
uh,
time.
yeah, so as you're aware, everybody who's engaging, and of course, Richard, what we're here to do is to have conversations kind of that are invoked with a kind of a level of source, we call it, basically enlightening conversations that allow us to see things from different perspectives, right?
Hmm.
So one of the cool things about what we've been doing over the past several weeks, Richard, is we deploy these discussions, we record them, is we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about we're talking about business mechanisms. We're talking about struggle. We're talking about the social dilemma. The reality of our societal conditioning. We talk about masculine and feminine concepts, politics, just in short vignettes, less than 10 minutes. So today, we kind of teed this up. It's kind of a topical conversation around belief systems, right? And this is coming to mind, Richard, I think, because we're living in a society these days where we're all operating from a place like from beliefs that have been systematically applied to us, whether it be beliefs about politics, beliefs about money, beliefs about, who we are and who our power is and stuff. So contextually, I'm going to kind of just bat it over to you. When I say, actually, I'll tee it up first. When I think of belief systems, I think of BS, right? Because some of the time people's belief systems can be not appropriate. They can be maybe corrosive, maybe things that are spun the way they really don't want to believe, but they're just kind of taught to believe them. What's your perspective in the context of going through life believing what we believe in the context of belief systems?
Wow, that's a massive one. Um, Beliefs. Yeah, I mean, it's we're all living in this paradigm, this program, or all kinds of names that we can call it. Matrix, and we're all deeply conditioned the moment we came into we landed here on the planet the moment we were born. And of course, we've been conditioned by our parents and surroundings, our families and schools and society and so on. And so yeah, we take all this information in. Yeah, the first 7 years it's just information being dumped upon us, and we develop a functional sense of who we believe we are, a
Right.
belief thing. And later on we mature into trying to find ourselves, to who we really are, and away from those belief systems. So yeah, belief is something, it's really powerful. We come into it, but it's something though, and I want to be like really you know careful of how I say this, how it can be interpreted. But the whole belief thing, even though I may use the word sometimes, but it's uh, I try to be very ginger in how and careful how I use belief,
It's
because
because people hold sacred. Their beliefs are sacred, right? So you got to watch
yeah,
out how you manage it. Yeah.
exactly. But I try not to believe things, believe in, all these words we use, um, and really just trust the authority inside of me, because the belief thing is all coming from my mind. It's I have to believe someone based on some idea of the past, or some idea I think might happen, could, should, you know. It's all coming from my head, and believing something that's probably was or might be.
Or that
you
may
know
not be applicable now. Kind of like what you said, up until 7 years old, right? Well, I'm
mm,
I'm a little older than seven, so maybe the parents who did the best they could gave us a perspective on what they thought we should believe, and then as we mature and we grow older, like for instance, the belief around money. A lot of
mhm,
people, I mean, for instance, I know I was raised by parents who were raised in the Depression era. My parents were born in 1930 in
mhm,
the heart of the Depression, right? So they were taught to believe that money is a scarce thing, right?
mhm,
And so therefore, as I fast forward, I had to do a lot of psychotherapy and couch work on coming to terms that money is an abundant thing. Money is an idea backed by confidence. That's what money is. And that was a belief system that I had to overcome. So we actually talked about unpacking the subject of belief systems because it goes so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the moral of the story in the context of kind of an overarching discussion around belief systems is you're right. They were given to us, they were instilled into us at an early age. Our responsibility as we grow and mature is to reconfront them and realize that the BS that we were taught may not be applicable to who we are now, especially around, again, money, politics, relationships, belief systems
Mm-hmm.
around how
Absolutely.
I'm supposed to operate culturally as a man. I identify as a man in this
Mm-hmm.
society. That's my belief, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there's so many systems around that. So as we mature, what's the best way to allow your belief systems to mature with you and not stay tied to the anchors of beliefs that are potentially holding us back?
Well, for me, the transformation of just believing everything, believing everyone, everything I hear is it's this deep work in the human design system. It's just it's so extraordinary that it's really taught me of how to really be present and how to trust my own authority. And when I'm operating from that place, which I do for the most part, um, it just gives me a really good sense of grounding, a good sense of myself and how to make decisions based on the way this body, this vehicle was designed, and from experimenting with these strategies, that's my wiring, basically my mechanical wiring. When I follow this, it's just so amazing. I don't have to believe anyone. I can trust myself. I can trust my authority. I mean, I can use the information that I'm hearing from the outside sources and process that information and see if it's in alignment with this thing that really feels that I know that I can trust inside my own body. When it's in alignment with that, then yes, it gives me this this okay, this availability to move forward, to take action or not. And that gives me this incredible security with myself and how I navigate this life. It changed my life when I understood this and how when I learned how to do it, which takes time. But it's not based on believing anymore. It's based on me understanding that I can trust this power, this authority power that's anchored inside of me. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. So as I process that, as the inner authority that we got to believe in as our foundation, right? Which is, kind of I mentioned it before. It's kind of a channel of source energy, right? So we got to kind of surrender to the authority that we are and trust it. We've actually talked about that in previous
Mm-hmm.
episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And as we apply that, and especially in today's time right now, we're in election season. I mean, the election is next week. A lot of people have belief systems on who they should vote for and everything. Oh, I'm not sure, and I like this party is over here, or maybe they're extremely sure. Maybe they've got an extreme belief system, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all about not even wanting to consider the other side. And
Mm-hmm.
here I am. Notice as I say this, I'm kind of judging and I'm listening, saying what I'm saying, and some people might get inflamed. I think in the context of adopting systems of belief, whether it be, you know, cultural nuances or, partisan politics or, whether I believe that money is scarce or abundant, right? I think a component of that to baseline, because a lot of people don't know what to believe, so they just believe what somebody else is telling them, is to
Mm-hmm.
go, as you said, go back to that inner authority and understand what that is, and you gotta kind of stop and calm the pond and check in with your heart first and let your heart tell you what to believe, and don't believe something just because somebody tells you that it's right to believe it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we use those terminologies, trust your heart, trust your intuition, trust your gut. These are the various aspects that different people have certain authorities that might be, for them. Um, yeah, but it's different for different people, and we offer that opportunity to share this knowledge and to share with people who are interested to come and learn about that, to discover it within themselves, and so that they can then apply, practice it. You have to practice it. it's a, for the rest of your life, this is your authority. It's just that we haven't been taught that, from a young age. And those who have been, there are those in the world who have, God bless them, because, that's how fortunate they are. But for most of us, we haven't been taught how to really trust our own authority. We've been all taught how to, trust, believe what our parents are telling us. I mean, which we had to at, young ages, of course. But if they understood, our parents, and understood the power of what it is to live from your authority, to make decisions from your authority, to navigate your life from your authority, then, this world will be in a different place. And we're headed in that direction. So my hope is, to continue to be a messenger of this work, and with many others as well, and spread the word, and show the way.
Cool. And I love the fact that we're wide open. So here we are on a platform. We're talking. It's Richard and Chris, and we're going back and forth. Join
Yeah,
us.
those are great,
Join
great
us.
questions, Chris. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, let us know that you about the perspectives that you might have as well around beliefs and what
Yeah,
beliefs you may have been raised in. So join the conversation. Give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, shoot us an email at lightningconversations20@gmail.com, and let us know that you'd like to join these conversations. We're doing this. We're not going to stop doing it. And our objective is to bring some illumination toward topics and perspectives that normally are not understood as well as they could be, unless we actually have good, productive, enlightening discourse about them, right?
yeah, and to engage people into it, and you maybe hear a different perspective, and how they were viewing those particular topics.
Sounds good.
And,
And that's all the time we got for this one. Until next time,
all righty.
who
Thank you,
knows what we're gonna
Chris.
who knows what we're gonna talk about next time? I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.